Hey, welcome back to Relax Radio with me, Nick, giving you guys company all the way until 5 p.m. That's right, we're happening right now in the UK. We're talking about a lot of stuff and a lot of crazy stuff actually happening. And with one of them was, like I said, was the variant, of the virus. And the other thing is we're going to be talking about the COVID and situation rather in Scotland. But before we do so, though, let me give you a sneak peek of what we have in store for you right here on Relax Radio. So check this out. That's right. Hey, so in case you guys want to follow us, make sure you follow us on all of our social media platforms. That's right. We're big on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, anything you name it, we are on it. Also, don't forget you can download the app straight away from the Apple App Store or the Google Play Store. Carry us all day, every day. This is Relax Radio, RELAKS without the X, because we believe in positivity. And also, hey, in case you guys want to check us out on our websites, check it out on www.relaxradio.net. And if you guys are feeling a little chatty, you always feel free to come this way. You know the numbers. It is 07852-473-473. That's right. And hey, getting back into the topic at hand, the COVID situation in Scotland. Well, hospitality, gyms, and shops are to open from Monday onwards. So First Minister Nicola Sturgeon has confirmed the most significant stage in Scotland's lockdown easing will go as planned on Monday. So the biggest change since the country went into lockdown on Boxing Day will include the reopening of hospitalities, gyms, and non-essential shops. So non-essential travel with England, Wales, and Northern Ireland will also be allowed for the first time this year. So mainland Scotland will also moved down from level 4 to 3 restrictions. So Ms. Sturgeon said that if the data continues to improve, the whole of Scotland will move to level 2 on May of the 17th. So this will allow people essentially to meet indoors in small numbers and see a further easing of hospitality restrictions. And the First Minister also said she hoped that the country would move to level 1 on June 7th and then level 0 later that month. So she said life would look and should look much more like normality during July. So that is in line essentially with what Boris Johnson is planning and getting up everyone vaccinated by the time that hits. So hopefully that will be happening. And however, though, Ms. Sturgeon warned that the travel restrictions between parts of Scotland and other parts of the UK could be introduced to deal with local outbreaks. So she essentially announced that from Monday, lateral flow tests would be available to anyone in the country. So the kits can be ordered online or picked up at testing centers in the afternoon and in the early evenings. And Ms. Sturgeon encouraged everyone to take advantage of the offer, especially those planning to visit Scotland's islands. So if you have any plans to go to the islands, or if you guys have anything in store, if you have an idea for a small vacation to the islands, well, you better take advantage of this. So when Scotland moves down to level 3 restrictions on Monday, it will be possible for up to 6 people from 2 different households to socialize indoors in a public place, such as a cafe or a restaurant. So, people can finally get back indoors, whether it's a restaurant, whether it is a cafe, and there's going to be unrestricted travel within Scotland, England, Wales, and Northern Ireland. And this is all subject, though, to local restrictions. So all shops, stores, and close contact services like nail bars to open, and hospitality venues like the cafes, pubs, and restaurants to open until 8 p.m. indoors, but without alcohol, and alcohol to be served outdoors under local licensing restrictions. Tourist accommodation to reopen. So the self-catering accommodation restricted in line with rules on indoor gatherings. So funerals and weddings, including receptions, to take place with up to 50 people, and alcohol will be permitted for events like this. And gyms and swimming pools to reopen for individual exercise, indoor attractions, and public buildings such as galleries, museums, and libraries are to reopen. So for all those bookworms out there and historians in you, well, there's some good news. So from this day, takeaways can be collected indoors, non-essential childcare will be allowed, non-essential work can be carried out inside houses, and driving lessons and tests can take place again. So yeah, she also added, though, the First Minister said that people would be looking forward to do things they haven't been unable to do for some time now. And she also addressed that we must remember that the virus we are dealing with now is more infectious than it was when bars and cafes were open last. And so it is really important that we enjoy these new restored freedom. We continue to be careful and take all the required precautions. However, many in the hospitality sector are unhappy with the draft guidance, and they are not totally satisfied with the situation. So it's just crazy. And they said that they expected a 1 meter social distancing to be placed between tables, but the proposals want people from different households to observe a social distancing at tables. So during the briefing, Ms. Sturgeon also said this guidance had not changed since last year. So the easing of restrictions on the 17th of May should enable pubs to open indoors, until 10:30 essentially, and allow contact sports and some small-scale events to take place. Yeah, so from that date, essentially, what you can do is up to 4 people from 2 different households will be able to meet indoors again. Hey, that's something to be talking about. And other changes also can include the return of the cinemas, amusement park arcades, theme parks, bingo halls, along with indoor group exercise. So yeah, that is what the Scottish government is planning. And Scottish Conservative leader Douglas Ross said that all the public health evidence suggests that the country is getting on top of virus, but the government should safely and cautiously look to ease these restrictions a little bit. So yeah, that is, what they're planning right now. And hopefully they are going to be doing this. And Mr. Ross also added that he would like to, he'd like the gyms to open before Monday. He'd also like to have more freedom for hospitality from the 26th of April. I mean, all of us have these kind of expectations. I mean, at the same time, we have to understand, these restrictions are placed for a reason. There is a reason why this is all placed. There is a reason why we're supposed to be doing this, and why the restrictions are taking the time that they're taking right now. It's because of this. And yeah, he also they're saying all about this, but then the Scottish Labour leader, Anna Sawar, said that it was the right government took a careful, phased approach to easing restrictions backed up by data. Because, hey, according to the information, it looks like everything is getting fine. It looks like everything is getting back to normalcy. It looks like, the spread of the virus is reducing. So what they're going to do is their plan is to get it all back on a board and get it all, popping. So that's great. That's really good news to see that Scotland is getting back on its feet. And the Scottish Liberal Democrat health spokesperson, Alex Cole-Hamilton, welcomed the developments, but called for the country's test and trace system to be beefed up. And he said that if new strains arrive in Scotland, we must have resources in place to swiftly crush them before they can spread. So yeah, Scottish Greens co-convener Alison Johnstone said ministers should avoid the temptation to act with haste and continue to listen to the best scientific advice. So she also called, for the government to be more proactive in terms of quarantine, and said people should stay in Scotland for their holiday. So in case you guys are planning a big holiday and you want to have a real good time and get out of the hustle and bustle of the city and, get back to that quiet place, I mean, try to stay indoors, try to stay restricted to your specific nation until all the situation dies down. But with that being said, though, we are going to be going back to some more conversation right after this break. And take a look at your time right now. It is 4 p.m. Good evening.